So this is one of those systems that shows up online and immediately makes you pause for a second, because on paper, it looks like a pretty aggressive value play. You got an Intel Core i7 processor boosting up to 3.9 GHz, an RX 590 with 8 GB of GDDR5 RAM, 16 GB of RAM, a 512 GB SSD, Windows 11 pre-installed, Wi-Fi 5, and 4 RGB fans lighting up the whole case. And the question is simple: how far does that actually get you in 2026? Starting with the design, this is very much in that classic pre-built gaming PC category. Tempered glass panel on the side, RGB fans try and give it that performance aesthetic, and a case that looks more expensive than it probably is. It's not subtle, but it's not trying to be. It's trying to look like a gaming machine, and in that sense, it succeeds. Booting into Windows 11, the SSD does its job. It's quick, not flagship level instant, but definitely fast enough that you're not sitting around waiting for things to load. For everyday use, Chrome, YouTube, Discord, multitasking with multiple tabs. It feels smooth. The 16 GB of RAM is doing a lot of heavy lifting here, and honestly, that's the minimum you want in 2026 if you're doing any kind of gaming or multitasking. Now the interesting part is the GPU, the RX 590. This is not a new card. It's actually part of an older generation of AMD's Polaris lineup, and that immediately sets expectations. You're not buying this for max settings 4K gaming. You're buying this for 1080p performance. And even then, you're going to be adjusting settings depending on the title. In esports titles like Valorant, CS2, and League of Legends, performance is actually pretty solid. You're getting high frame rates, responsive gameplay, and it feels competitive enough for casual to mid-level play. That's where this system feels the most comfortable. But once you move into heavier AAA games, the story changes. Modern titles demand more VRAM, more GPU efficiency, and more raw horsepower than the RX 590 can comfortably provide at high settings. So you're dialing things down. Medium settings, sometimes low settings depending on optimization. It's playable, but it's not exactly future-proof. The CPU, the i7 here, helps keep things stable. It handles background tasks, game logic, and multitasking without really breaking a sweat. It's not bleeding edge anymore, but it's still very capable for a budget gaming setup. Thermals are another interesting point. With 4 RGB fans moving air through the case, temperatures stay reasonable under load. You will hear the system ramp up when gaming, but nothing out of the ordinary for a pre-built in this category. Where things get more subjective is value, because this is a kind of PC that exists in a very specific price bracket. It's designed for someone who wants a plug-and-play gaming experience without building a system from scratch. And in that sense, it delivers exactly that. But if you're someone thinking long-term upgrades, future AAA titles at high settings, or 1440p gaming, this is where you start to feel the limitations of the RX 590 platform. So the real takeaway here is simple. This is a capable entry-level gaming machine for 1080p sports and lighter gaming workloads. It's not pretending to be more than that, and that honesty is kind of what defines its value. If you're okay tuning settings, managing expectations, and you just want something that works out of the box, it does the job. But if you're chasing long-term performance headroom, you might want to look a tier higher.